Before anything, I want to give a shout out to Novocaine for blessing this intro. I appreciate it, man.
If you look in the mirror, the speed different to mill deeps. Reversing the time and the speed limit is not all as it seems. Shit, even the weed different. In search for stimulation, scratches and knee itching. Yearning for knowledge and understanding as a man. So you understand that to survive is always to advance. And sometimes this life that we live seems to advance, to cling to every chance and breathe so we can stand. Then again, can you really live without a challenge? One needs the other. Everything requires balance, and that time is now. So sit back and listen and realize that me and you are no different. We human beings who always adding chapters to our story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Endless Purgatory.
Welcome. This is Tamil Dips IOC bringing you another episode of Endless Purgatory. And today's topic will discuss secrets and why we have them and why they're so important to some people and why we allow ourselves to be so surrounded in so many of them. So, that being said, sit back, relax, enjoy the content, and take from it what you will as you may. As always, I appreciate all my listeners. Thank you. Enjoy. Thoughts are endless, but life isn't. If you don't do something, what's stopping you now but excuses? Think about it. Endless purgatory. Power is in the eye of the beholder. Imagine knowing you know something that shouldn't get out. Imagine you know that you have the power and you have the key to unlocking something that could either destroy, damage, or just cause mass chaos or confusion in the situation. Just think about that. I think some people actually, relish in the thought of having so much power that, you know what, at any time I could press a button and this will happen, or I could do this and that would happen. Imagine knowing something that you know you shouldn't know, or a said person may not want you to know, but you know anyway. And maybe one day you're waiting on clarification or confirmation that that person will actually go ahead and just do well on themselves what you feel like they should do anyway. Or better yet, check this out. Say, for example, the person knows that you know something and that they're just purposely not saying nothing at all because they don't want to grant you satisfaction in that situation. Crazy, right? So, when you sit down and really think about some things like why we allow ourselves to be surrounded in so much secrecy and why we put ourselves in situations that creates more and more of those secrets. A lot of times those secrets are started from lies or started from accidents or started from something that happened and it's like, oh damn, you know what? Maybe I should say never mind, maybe I won't. Maybe you want to say something and you don't. Or maybe you should have said something but you didn't. Or maybe you saw something and you knew that if what you saw could completely obliterate somebody's well-being, somebody's mental well-being, you have the choice of saying something or not saying nothing at all. And the only thing that it does is either put something inside of you that you have to hold on to, and it's like you have to just live with it, or you just have a loyalty to a person, and no matter what, regardless of what it is, y'all just understand that, look, nothing needs to be said. This was what it was, and this is what it's gonna be, and we'll just leave it at that. You know, I at some point I just kind of looked at all that and I was like, this is stupid. And that's just, my opinion, I'm like, this is stupid. You gotta live with so much secrecy. There's so much going on. There's so much that like there's so much information that just either doesn't want to or doesn't need to get out. And it's almost annoying a lot of times. It's like you gotta sit here and deal with um or this, this being said or that not being said. And it's like, or you got to tiptoe around certain situations because you don't want to accidentally slip up and say something. It's just like, golly, man. It just gets really annoying after a while. And you just, I don't know, not that it forces you to like one day say like, man, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just get this out. Let me just say this. It doesn't make you necessarily make you want to say something, but it just make you feel like, dang, I wish I didn't have to hold on to this, or dang, I don't want to sit here and live with this, or yeah, sure, you might have. But this is where you can have like those inside jokes and be like, yeah, wink, wink, yeah, we know what it is. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it makes it uncomfortable sometimes, granted, where you're at in a certain situation. And and then it makes you sit back like, man, oh yeah, that it's, I don't know. Honestly, for some people, I don't know how they live with it. Some people can live with it just fine. They can, you know, see something happen or know something happen and go about their life and be fine. And it's cool, perfectly fine. Doesn't even bother them. Won't even, won't even make their skin itch not one bit. Some people, they may look at a person or they look at a certain thing and be like, and just shake their head like, man, shoot, if only, if only they knew, or if only this, or if only that, to the point where you almost feel sorry for the person, that maybe something will accidentally happen and, light will come out the darkness. Some people's skeletons are just so packed. Like some people's skeletons are so packed to the point that they don't even have room for it anymore. They got to go find somewhere else to bury them. And I'm just, and I look and I just how do you do it? Like where do you where do you hide the bones? Like what do you do with all this? At some point, you know a random bone is just gonna pop up out the blue, and somebody's gonna see it and wonder like where'd that come from? Or, what is this? And then, what that's going to do is it's going to sprawl more secrecy because then you got to sit there and try to cover that up. To say it in more simpler terms, don't, if you don't want secrets, if you're tired of secrets, or if you can't stand them, or if you know for yourself you don't want to be wrapped up in them, then don't have them. Think the hypocrisy of some people that they don't want anybody to have secrets around them, but yet they hold secrets themselves. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It may make sense to them. They feel like, hey, you know what? I want to know your secrets, but I don't want you to know mine. It's almost like the audacity that you keep something from me and I not know about it, but I can, and that's okay. Like where does the line drawn that like okay, we none of us should have none, so that way neither one of us can feel like anybody's hiding anything. And for some people, it's like they don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want to feel like maybe they have something in their back pocket and they're just like, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna hold on to this one thing. Or I'm gonna hold on to these few things just to keep, just in case, something happens or something pops up and it's like, okay, at least I got this in my back pocket. The lengths that people will go through just to keep something hidden. Matter of fact, let's just go back to people like in the past. Okay, let's say like our grandparents, right? A lot of time for people, our grandparents either died with the secret to a lot of craziness that has went on the past years. A lot of grandchildren, a lot of children have grown up with a lot of mystery of a lot of things, like who's this person or who's that person, or why does this person this, or why does this person act like that, or why doesn't that person have a dad, or why doesn't that person have a mom? Why isn't, what happened to them, or why is things this way? And they'll quickly just dismiss you and be like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Don't, ain't none of your business. That's before you. That's before your time. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to focus on being a kid, or you just need to focus on whatever you got going on." And how much damage that does to a person, that they have to sit here and grow up a certain kind of way. And it only does one or two things: spawns more secrecy, because now that person is going to learn, okay, they did it like this, so I'm gonna do it like this. Or it creates, like I said earlier, confusion for a lot of people, because they spend probably most of their lives trying to figure out something that they'll never get the answer to, and they'll just hold on to that. It's frustrating, beyond frustrating. And some things you're going to find out along the way if you really want to know. But at the same time, it's like, why even have to go through all that? And that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like these holes and gaps that you have to go back and cover up and fill up, or uncover and then cover it back, put it back. It's like, why all this? Why cause so much? Why allow somebody to be put through so much damage and turmoil just over something that could easily just have been talked about? And a lot of it, that's the reason why. Most people just don't want to talk. Most people just don't want to figure things out. They don't want to, they may feel like either they waited too, things are just going on so long, it doesn't matter, or it's in the past. When the crazy thing about the past is that it finds some kind of way to haunt you regardless, until you finally close them doors and put everything fully to rest. And that's what a lot of times I don't think people get. Now, for some people, they have to hold on to certain things to protect their character. And in certain situations, I actually do understand that, because some people have gone through some maybe damaging things in the past that they just live with that secret, and they rather nobody never know about it, because they feel like it's safe for nobody to ever know about it. Or, it's bluntly nobody's business, that is ever known. Now, but what do you do if you're presented in a situation where you're questioned about something that happens? Now, one thing sometimes that people do, especially in relationships, is that they're asked about a certain question and they have to decide on whether A, to answer it truthfully, or B, answer it in secrecy, meaning lie, pretty much lie, right? So you can either look at the person and say, like, yes, this did happen, or yes, that did happen, or yes, I went through this, or yes, I went through that, or yes, these certain events happen. Or you can say B, nope, never happened, not ever. And so you go off and you continue to stay with this person, get married, everything. Now you've married a person into a lie. How do you handle that situation? Now, for them, the person, they feel like they're protecting themselves. Also, at the same time, being dishonest with the person that is being truthful to them. Is that fair at all to them? that they go into like that. Now, the person that lied could feel fine about it and keep on going, but the other person has to, if some way they find out the real answer, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be utter chaos because now you just created a level of distrust, a level of distrust, and you'll never get that back. Especially, granted, how much time has passed since then. Think about that. I say all that to say this. If you're the type of person that can go on and live like that and live with so much things just wrapped inside your mind or wrapped in so much secrecy, then by all means, do that. And continue to do what you've been doing anyway. But if you want to free yourself, to just rid yourself of just so many things just packed inside your mind, let it go. Now, at the same time, I know, I know the first thing's probably gonna pop into people's minds, snitch, and I get it, I get it, but at the same time, some things, yeah, hold back. I'm not gonna front. Um, I ain't telling nobody to go snitch, but I am saying for some people that need clarity, clarity. For some people that need clarity, providing clarity is not snitching. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But with that being said, this is the final episode for the season. Next season, I'll be providing content a little bit different. It will be with guests. So I'll be I'll be hosting with other co-hosts, and they will change up and vary through different topics, and using it as a way to pretty much promote other people, other businesses, and so on and so forth. And pretty much shake hands on certain things that maybe agree or disagree on certain topics. I think it'll be interesting. But with that being said, stay safe, stay sane, and secure in your mind. Release.